these things that were done to you, they weren't innocent mistakes. They were intentional acts. They knew what they were doing, and they intentionally tried to hurt you, intentionally tried to sabotage you, intentionally tried to steal from you, to prevent you from fulfilling your purpose. They wanted to hurt you. And that is a very difficult thing to digest. I mean, we can't relate to that. I'm seeing a lot of grief come up right now. I'm seeing a lot of anger, a lot of sadness. I'm hearing things like, how could you? How could you live with yourself? How could you do that to me and live with yourself, knowing that you were intentionally trying to hurt me? How could you? And like they're trying to, these other people try to justify their actions like they were in the right. But God knows. God sees how closed their heart is and how misaligned they are. God sees how they were led astray. And God is holding them responsible. They are not holding themselves responsible or accountable for their actions, but God is. And that's why karma is so heavy for them right now. And the karma is so heavy for them right now that the people around them can't help but notice that something is not right. That this is not just some streak of bad luck or something, you know, some type of like, if they're having health problems, it's not some type of genetic issue. This is almost unbelievable. And there are people around your perps, your perpetrators, who know what you are saying, who hear your truth. And they can't help but understand how much sense it makes, like how the pieces to the puzzle actually fit. Okay? That's a little bit beside the point, because the real message here is that I do see a lot of grief coming up, and you being like, how could they? Trying to really work through it and come to a place where you're good. Okay? Now, this might not be for everybody, because I do see that people are in different places in this journey. There are people who have already found forgiveness for them and have let it go and have moved on. But there are still a number of people here who are really in the thick of it. Really in the thick of it, trying to understand, trying to heal, and trying to find forgiveness for what happened, not to excuse the behavior, not to accept, like, and say it's okay and have a relationship with this people, but to find forgiveness for yourself so that you can let go of some of the weight of the really terrible things that these mentally ill people did. You know, normal people don't do these types of things. And that's something that you really need to embrace. Because you might have thought these people were normal, and you might have even looked up to them at some point, but they're not normal. Normal people don't do these things. Normal people don't try to sabotage somebody else and then tell them to get over it when they're hurt about it. Normal people, people with an open heart, when they hurt somebody else and they know they've hurt somebody else, they take responsibility for it and they apologize. They try to make it right, because it's very difficult to live with yourself knowing that you intentionally tried to hurt somebody else. But these people can live with themselves. Not only can they live with themselves, they're justifying what they did. That is a special kind of evil, a special kind of mental illness. Like something that medication isn't going to fix. You know what I mean? They chose not to learn from their lessons. And, you know, God's not letting it go. 444 on the timer. God's not letting it go. But God does want you to continue to work through this and to continue to understand that you came into this role to end this dysfunction, to end the cycles. It's like you threw yourself in the fire so that you could put it out. You put yourself in the darkest of darkest places so that you can shine your light, so that you could remember who you are and radiate your light out. You know, they tried to extinguish that flame inside of you, that spark. They tried to do it from a very young age, but they couldn't succeed because God wasn't going to let them succeed. Actually, they were tricked. God or like your guide's spirit, they were tricked into thinking that you were going to be somebody or something else, or that your purpose was different from what it actually is. They were fooled. You see, because the dark side, as much as they like to trick others, they're easily fooled. They're easily blinded by like shiny things, sparkly things, and false ideals. I mean, that's why they operate at such a low frequency, a low state of consciousness, okay? But you are aligned with God, and you operate at a very high frequency, a very high state of consciousness. Even when you were born, I mean, it was visible, it was apparent to others that you were operating in a different place than the people around you. And they didn't like it. I've spoken about this so often, but it just is coming up again. And I'm just going to honor this message coming through, because there are people here, even if it's not you, there are people in this community who need to hear this and who need our compassion and our understanding and our truth. And they need that motivation. And that's why it's coming through. They need that love. And so, I mean, you didn't deserve any of that. Nobody deserves to be treated the way you were treated. Nobody deserves to have to face that. And even though you will always rise from the ashes, you will always rise from the darkness, you will always radiate that aligned truth and loving compassion and understanding. The things that you went through were really valid, like difficult and painful. And your grief is valid. Your pain is valid. Your anger, your sadness is valid. Honor that in a way that is healthy for you. It's not about like justice will be served. You don't have to do anything but just maintain your own energy and heal yourself. By doing so, that's how justice gets served. Like, you don't get your hands dirty. You don't ever get your hands dirty, because you're not like them. You walk in trust. You walk in faith that you are protected, that God is in control of it all. And that's where they effed up, because they wanted to try to control things. But they are not in control. We are not in control. God is in control. And so continue to honor the way that you feel. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. I'm sending you so much love. I'm sending you so much healing energy. Just tend to your heart. It's okay. You will get through this. I know you're going to get through it. And you have come so far. Okay, so if you are really in the grips of it right now and you're really having a difficult time trying to digest and accept and wrap your head around it, just allow yourself to feel that, because those feelings will release from you and you will gain more clarity and more understanding. And as you navigate your own healing process, forgiveness becomes easier. You cannot force forgiveness. And I do not appreciate people who come into this comment section and try to shame people for where they're at in their journey as far as forgiveness goes. Okay, it's a process. And wherever you are in that process is okay. I love you. God loves you. You will get through this. I see you and I believe in you. You didn't deserve that. You deserve better. And you are moving to a place where it will be so much better. Okay? Trust in that. Believe in that. It's going to be okay. But just honor what you're feeling right now. This is some of the most difficult things ever to have to face in life. And you're doing a really great job, and I'm proud of you. It's not easy. I'm not saying it is. But you have what it takes to get through this. You are capable. Don't beat yourself up about it. That's what they want. Don't beat yourself up. Shower yourself with that love and compassion and kindness that you would give somebody else, because you deserve that. You're worthy of it. I see you. I believe in you. I love you. God loves you. Take care of yourself, okay? I'll see you in the next message.